All right, strap yourselves in because today we are going deep on something that's probably in your hand right now, the iPhone,
It's everywhere, isn't it?
pretty much.
Yeah.
And you wanted us to cover it all from 2007 all the way to today, 2025.
It's quite a story. The research is massive, nearly 2 decades worth.
Exactly, from the first model to iconic moments like the App Store, and of course up to today with stuff like Apple Intelligence.
Hmm.
Our goal is to unpack all that and really make you an iPhone expert, not just on the phones themselves, but like how it's changed the world.
Totally. It's reshaped how we live, even. So imagine it's January 9th, 2007.
Okay, 2007.
Steve Jobs is on stage, and he's about to reveal a phone unlike anything anyone's ever seen. No physical keyboard, sleek touch interface, software that felt light years ahead.
Wow, can you imagine being there? It must felt like something out of a movie. No keyboard.
Yeah, it was wild. It was clear Apple was betting big on making tech easy to use, putting software first in a way no one else was doing.
And they nailed it, right? Think about those early features. Visual voicemail, Safari as a full web browser. They even had YouTube.
It's true, we take it for granted now, but those were revolutionary back then.
And so much of that original vision is still in the iPhone today, right?
Yeah.
The focus on simplicity, how easy it is to use, the way the hardware and software just work together, all came from that first model.
For sure. And what's crazy is that first iPhone didn't even have copy and paste.
No kidding. Can you imagine an iPhone with no apps today?
It's unimaginable, but that's how it started. But that just shows how fast it's changed. 2008, the iPhone 3G,
Okay, so we're just a year later.
3G connectivity, GPS, and most
Yeah.
importantly, the App Store.
No, that was a real game changer.
Totally. Suddenly, your phone wasn't just a phone anymore. It could be anything, a game console, a productivity tool, social media.
Anything you could imagine.
Exactly. It was a platform for innovation, and developers just ran with it.
And then just a year later, in 2009, the 3GS.
Faster, more powerful, they added video recording, and get this, voice control.
You mean like talk to your phone?
Yeah. I mean, in hindsight, it was like an early version of Siri.
Wow, so much was happening so fast. But then 2010, the iPhone 4, what a leap. The glass and steel, it was stunning.
Completely different, iconic, and of course, the Retina display. Text was crystal clear, images just popped, the whole industry had to play catch-up.
I remember seeing it for the first time. It was like you could actually see individual pixels.
Yeah.
It really changed how we experience stuff on our phones.
Totally. Plus, FaceTime arrived, video calling went mainstream, and don't forget the gyroscope. That opened up gaming and set the stage for the AR stuff we have now.
Oh, yeah, you could move your phone around and things would happen on the screen. So cool. Then 2011, the 4S Siri arrives. Do you remember the first time you used Siri?
I was skeptical. Honestly, it felt like, I don't know, a gimmick. But once I started using it for simple stuff, setting reminders, checking the weather, I got it.
I know, right? It was like the future had arrived. And then the iPhone 5 in 2012, they finally made the screen bigger, 4 inches.
That was huge. It might not seem like much now, but it changed everything. How we held the phone, how apps were designed.
Totally. The 5 also brought us the Lightning connector and 4G LTE, fast internet on your phone. That was massive. And then 2013, they really started mixing things up. The 5S with Touch ID, that was crazy futuristic at the time.
I know, right? Your fingerprint unlocks your phone. The 5S also had the first 64-bit processor in a smartphone, ahead of its time.
They were thinking ahead, that's for sure. And the 5C, colorful, fun, more affordable.
Exactly. It felt like they were saying there's an iPhone for everyone.
And then 2014, they went big, literally, the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus.
4.7 and 5.5-inch displays. They really embraced that trend of bigger screens. Beautiful design, curved edges, it just felt right in your hand.
And Apple Pay. Paying with your phone became normal, and NFC came to the iPhone, things we take for granted now. It's wild to think about how much the iPhone was already a part of everyday life by then.
Right, and it kept going. 2015, the 6S and 6S Plus with 3D touch, a pressure-sensitive screen. It was so cool.
Remember that? You could press harder on the screen and different things would happen. It was innovative, but I guess it didn't really catch on the way they hoped did it.
It's true. It shows they were willing to experiment, though.
Totally. Oh, and live photos. Capturing a little video with your photo was a nice touch. Then 2016 was a big year, the first iPhone SE.
Smaller, more affordable, but with the power of a flagship phone. It was a hit, especially with folks who loved the classic iPhone 5S design.
And then, of course, the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus. And the thing that everyone was talking about, They got rid of the headphone jack.
It was a bold move.
Yeah.
People were up in arms. But looking back, it really pushed wireless headphones into the mainstream, right? AirPods and all that.
Yeah, it was definitely controversial, but it changed things. The iPhone 7 also brought water resistance. Can't live without that now.
And the dual camera system on the 7 Plus, that's where portrait mode really took off, those blurry backgrounds.
Such a great feature. And then in 2017, two big releases. First, the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus, wireless charging, the super powerful A11 Bionic chip.
The A11 was a beast.
But then, the iPhone X, the one that changed everything, the all-screen era had arrived.
That edge-to-edge OLED display, the home button was gone, Face ID, it was a totally different iPhone.
Such a risk, right? But it paid off. Face ID became the standard for secure authentication. Every other phone company was copying them.
Totally. And it all led to the 2018 lineup, the XR, more affordable edge-to-edge than the XS and XS Max, even better cameras.
The XS had the A12 Bionic chip, even faster. And then 2019, the iPhone 11 series. Those cameras were amazing, especially in low light.
The 11 Pro models had 3 cameras and night mode. You could take amazing photos even in the dark.
Game changer.
And remember the second generation iPhone SE in 2020?
Oh, yeah. That classic design, but with the power of the newer phones. They didn't forget the fans of the smaller phones. And 2020 was also the year of 5G.
The iPhone 12 series, finally. That was a big deal.
It really felt like the future of the internet was arriving. Plus, they brought back that flat edge design, kind of like the iPhone 5 and MagSafe.
Magnetic charging and accessories. So smart. Apple thinking about the whole experience.
And then 2021, the iPhone 13 series, even better cameras, brighter screens, the A15 Bionic chip. It just kept getting better and better.
The promotion displays on the 13 Pro models, so smooth, especially for scrolling and gaming. And cinematic mode for video, like a Hollywood movie.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then 2022, another iPhone SE.
Third generation this time. 5G came to the SE lineup. Great for people who want those features without breaking the bank. And of course, the iPhone 14 series.
Safety was a big focus that year. Emergency SOS via satellite, that was a potentially life-saving feature. And crash detection.
Amazing. Your phone could call for help if you were in an accident.
And on the Pro models, the dynamic island. They made the notch cool.
Right. It actually became part of how you use the phone. And finally, 2023, the iPhone 15 series, USB-C charging at last.
Finally. I know, it only took forever. It felt like a victory.
It was definitely a big moment. USB-C is the standard now. Faster charging, faster data transfer.
And all the 15 models got the A16 Bionic chip. Plus, the Pro models had a titanium frame. And that periscope telephoto lens.
You could zoom so far. Like
Yep.
a professional camera, they really pushed the boundaries of what a phone camera could do.
So that brings us from the very first iPhone in 2007 all the way to the iPhone 15 in 2023.
It's incredible how much it's changed.
It really is. What a journey. But the story doesn't end there. In part 2, we're going to be talking about the iPhone 16 series, Apple Intelligence, and what the future holds for this incredible device.
So make sure you stick around for that. Welcome back. We're still deep in iPhone history, and it really is amazing how much this thing has become a part of our lives, you know.
I know, it's like, can you even imagine not having one now?
Right, but it hasn't always been perfect, you know.
Definitely not. I mean, there have been controversies along the way.
Like what?
Well, remember Batterygate?
Oh, yeah. Back in 2017.
When it came out that Apple was slowing down older iPhones with those software updates?
Right. People were so mad.
Everyone thought they were doing it on purpose to make you upgrade.
Well, it turned out Apple was trying to prevent those unexpected shutdowns you get with older batteries.
Trying to make the phones last longer?
Yeah, but they didn't really tell anyone, which was a mistake.
That's for sure. It really showed how important it is for companies to be upfront with users, let them know what's going on.
Definitely. Transparency is key, and to give people control over their own devices.
For sure. And Apple did learn from that. They got a lot better about being open about battery health and giving you options.
Right. But let's talk about another big issue, the environment.
Oh, yeah. The environmental impact.
Making millions of iPhones every year has an effect on the planet, no question.
It takes a lot of resources, mining the materials, manufacturing, shipping all over the world.
It's complicated, there's no easy answer, but to their credit, Apple has been trying to reduce their footprint.
Yeah, they're using more recycled materials, they're cutting down on packaging waste, trying to use more renewable energy.
It's a start.
They've also made it easier to recycle old iPhones with those trade-in programs.
Definitely. But it's something they need to keep working on, making these high-tech gadgets, but doing it in a way that doesn't hurt the planet.
Absolutely. And speaking of things they need to keep working on, there's the whole issue of labor practices in those factories overseas,
Right.
concerns about working conditions, fair wages, that kind of thing.
It's so important for companies like Apple to make sure the people making their products are treated fairly.
Definitely. They have those codes of conduct for their suppliers. They're involved in organizations that promote fair labor, but it's a constant thing. They got to stay on top of it.
For sure. It's a reminder that there's a whole lot that goes into making these iPhones, not just the technology itself.
Absolutely. But let's not forget the positive side, too.
Totally.
The iPhone has really changed the world for the better in a lot of ways.
It's true. Think about communication. The iPhone has revolutionized how we talk to each other.
And how we get information. It's all at our fingertips.
We're connected to the whole world in ways we never thought possible before.
And the App Store. Think about the jobs it's created, the developers, the businesses, the whole ecosystem. And for us, it's like we have access to anything, games, education, tools to help us with our lives. It's incredible.
It's amazing. And how we experience the world, too, using maps to find our way around, staying connected with friends and family, expressing ourselves creatively. It's changed everything. And what about photography and video? The iPhone has put a professional quality camera in everyone's pocket.
Right. It's like anyone can be a photographer or a filmmaker now.
And sharing those photos and videos on social media, Instagram, Snapchat, none of that would exist without the iPhone.
So true. It's sparked so much creativity and self-expression. And it's not just about fun. It's changed healthcare, too.
Right.
People are using their iPhones and Apple Watches to track their health, monitor their fitness, even participate in research studies.
Amazing. It's helping people take charge of their own well-being and advancing medicine at the same time.
And think about shopping. E-commerce, mobile shopping, it's all driven by smartphones.
So convenient. We can shop from anywhere now.
Yeah. The iPhone really is everywhere. It's how we shop, how we learn, how we connect. It's become part of the fabric of modern life.
It's crazy. And we've seen both the good and the bad, but there's no question the iPhone has had a huge impact on the world.
A lasting impact, for sure, and it's still evolving.
Right. The story's not over yet. In part 3, we're going to be looking ahead to the future of the iPhone. What's coming next? What are the big questions?
So many exciting possibilities. And we're back. It's part 3 of our deep dive into the iPhone, and wow, what a journey it's been, right?
I know. From that first model in 2007 to today, it's really amazing how much it's changed the world.
I mean, we've seen how it's revolutionized, how we communicate, how we get information, how we entertain ourselves, and so much more.
It's become, like, essential.
It really has.
Yeah.
But it's more than just features, right? It's had this huge cultural impact. It's even changed how we think.
Absolutely. The iPhone has connected people across the globe, given a voice to people who wouldn't have had one before. It's let people create and share things in ways we never could before. It's been a real driver of change.
For sure. And as we look ahead, I think it's clear the iPhone's going to keep playing a big role in shaping the world.
Oh, yeah, definitely. All this new stuff with AI, augmented reality, who knows what's next. I think it's just going to open up even more possibilities.
Imagine, like, your iPhone being able to instantly translate languages or give you real-time health updates or even, like, make you smarter.
Sounds like science fiction.
I know, right? But honestly, I don't think that stuff is that far off. The iPhone's still got a lot of evolving to do.
Definitely. It's a pretty exciting time to be an iPhone user, that's for sure.
Absolutely. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the history of the iPhone, I think it's important to just take a minute and appreciate how far we've come.
From that very first model to this global icon, it's been quite a ride.
It really has. And as we move forward, I think it's on all of us to think about how we use this technology, how it impacts the world, how we can make sure it's a force for good.
That's a good point. It's powerful technology. We have to use it responsibly.
Absolutely. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep pushing the limits of what's possible.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And as always, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of the iPhone. We'll see you next time.